Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Design Coleman here, and the gameplay you're watching is me playing some Chop Shop on the new DLC that dropped on the PS4. To be honest with you, this is the first map I played, and it went really well. At least for me, anyways. I ended up, with 31 and 14, I think it was. And I'll tell you what, it's tight. The match is close the whole time, and eventually we'll transition into some momentum near the end of the video, because this is a little bit lengthy video. I've been saying for quite some time in some of my other videos that I've posted that I was going to talk about why I'm running the Detroit Marathon. There's a lot of reasons people run marathons. Some do it just for fun. Honestly, some people really do it just for fun. They'll dress up in goofy clothes and they'll do it. Some people obviously do it to win because they want to win it, and others do it for certain causes. And the cause I'm running the marathon for this year is it kind of hits close to home, and you'll understand why as I get further into the details. So the whole reason for me running this marathon is for human trafficking, and this is something that I don't know, you don't really hear too much about it. It's really starting to kind of pick up some momentum, though. The president's been talking about human trafficking. Our governor in the state of Michigan's been talking about it. They're getting ready to put some kind of a task force together, and you'll understand why when I get to get through some of the statistics that I'm going to share with you. So we're going to do some of the statistics first, and then I'll kind of talk about my personal reasons for it. So some of the stats and it's quite staggering, and I'll share some of these links in the description for you guys, and you can check out some of the videos, and you'll get some of the stats through that. And if you want to research it more, you're more than welcome to do it. So when we talk about human trafficking, essentially that's these are people that are basically they're slaves. They're enslaved in some way. Whether it's for and the most common form is sex trafficking. So it's kind of interesting to see that there's more slaves now than there has ever been at any point in our history. There's an estimated 27 million people who are enslaved in some way. And for human trafficking, it's becoming like the second largest criminal activity that's known, and it's and people are like it's like the fastest growing trade that's going on today, but you're not going to really see too much of that. And it's like a $32 billion industry when it comes to human trafficking, and that's more money combined than when you put Google, Starbucks, and Nike together. $32 billion is that's more than all of those companies combined. So it's kind of a big thing, and where it kind of really gets me is when it comes to kids, because it's not just, you don't think it's adults. This isn't really just adults. When it comes to the human trafficking. And mostly it's mostly the sex side of it is when it comes to it. And there's an estimated 100,000 child sex slaves in America. And usually they're taken between the ages of 12 and 14 years old. And we're not just talking about girls. Now, girls are obviously the predominant, sex that they're looking for. That's where most of the money is made. Excuse me, is made. And don't get me wrong, there are young boys who are taken as well. Some kids are actually sold into it. In some countries, you know, where people are just, you know, struggling harder than anybody to get by, and it happens. It does happen. You know, and when it comes to kids being taken between the ages of 12 and 14, you know, that kind of strikes me a little bit, because I do have a daughter who is 13. Now, where this comes close to home is that, you know, I live in Michigan, and it was a little shocking to me to find out that Michigan is ranked second in human trafficking, right behind Nevada, you know, Las Vegas, Nevada. And we were first, but, you know, we moved down to second place, but that doesn't make it great. That doesn't make it good, you know. And that's kind of where it really struck me, you know. And the nonprofit that I'm running with is called Love Runs, and this nonprofit is through my church. And, you know, when it was announced, you know, last year I did, you know, Detroit Marathon for a different cause. You know, I did it for Team World Vision. They do water in countries like over in Africa, and in places where they just don't have running water and they don't have access to clean water. But this year, when it was announced what we were, you know, what our group was running for, and then I got the stats, it was really a shock to me to discover that, you know, here I live in Michigan, I live, you know, Detroit. You know, we like to say, you know, it's, you know, hockey town, you know, it's the Motor City, and all of this stuff. You know, there's so many great things that have gone on. And to know that something this ugly is just going on behind your back, behind the scenes, and, you know, and I tell you, the biggest time when people are taken, when kids are taken, when even women are taken, is during these large events. You know, when these large events are taking place, especially downtown Detroit. You know, there's so many things that are going on down there sometimes. You know, you got the auto show and all that. It's a little staggering, and it's a little shocking to know that your state is number 2. Number 2 when it comes to human trafficking. And one other statistic I'd like to share is, you know, we talk about how stats are broken down into time, and this one stat is it is a little shocking to me. You know, when someone is taken every 30 seconds into human trafficking. You know, it takes a new victim every 30 seconds. So, you know, this is something I'm really passionate about. My wife is extremely passionate about this. This is like her passion. This is the one thing that she wants to fight, you know. And we all have passions in our lives, but when it comes to things like this, you know, this is something that you know, it really takes it takes strong people to fight something that's so ugly and strong in itself, you know. And it takes a lot of people, and it takes resources. You know, so I'm definitely, you know, I'm going to share the links for everything, all the stats I talked about. You'll be able to watch some of the videos and get some of the stats that way. You know, I'm not making these numbers up by any means. And where it comes personal to me is the fact that I do have kids. You know, my daughter is 13. She is smack dab right there in the middle. She's right there in the prime area that they're looking for girls. And where I live in Michigan is certainly not a horrible place. It's not a place where a lot of crime happens or takes place. But we do have, you know, stranger dangers. Those are the announcements that schools make when a child walking home from school has encountered a stranger trying to get them, you know, to come in their car or something. And sometimes these stranger dangers actually end up being where someone was actually abducted. And not too long ago in a city, it's like right next door to me, I believe she was 12 years old. It was either 12 or 13, right around the same age as my daughter, is missing. And now that I'm involved with this nonprofit and this run, it really kind of hits you. It really kind of smacks you in the face, and you start thinking, that could be my daughter. She, for some reason, just outside. I mean, these things happen in broad daylight. It really takes no amount of time for them to grab somebody. There's all kinds of places you can get information on human trafficking. You can YouTube it. You'll find so many videos and even movies, done on human trafficking. And there's a lot of ugly things in this world, and to me this is definitely one of the, I'd say, top 5 ugliest things going on. And it's not just about the adults. There's plenty of grown women who are taken in early teens, even 16, 17, 18, in the 20s. It really doesn't matter. So that is why I'm running the Detroit Marathon. I really wanted to share this with everybody, but I kind of wanted to do it in the right way, a proper way. And I feel that I've shared, some of the statistics, and I gave a definite close reason as to why it's so important to me. Because I do have a daughter who, it could be her. You just never know. As a parent, it's one of your biggest fears is something terrible happening to your kids or just being missing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, and I really hope you guys, go check out some of the links that I'm going to share. And I'm also going to share the page, but there is a fundraiser. You don't have to obviously give if you don't want to, but I would really appreciate it if you do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and give it a like. Please definitely share it, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.